of terrified to go into work, because that's kind of me today. Because within the past week, one of the baggers at my store, I work at a grocery store, got diagnosed with COVID. There's someone who's been continuously going to parties, like non-socially distanced parties, without their mask on. They constantly walk around with their mask underneath their nose. They also like to sit in the back room without their mask on for extended periods of time. And so the last party they would have gone to was about a week and a half ago, where they would have most likely gotten COVID. Then they were coming to work for the week following that, before showing symptoms and getting diagnosed. They went and got tested, then 4 days later they got tested again, and now they're out of work for 2 weeks on paid COVID leave. I think that's what they're calling it. Well, then there's another cashier who's working alongside them for that period of time, for the week after their party, and he thinks that he might have been exposed. But because he's trying to get enough hours to pay for his rent this month, he came into work, he found out who it was that got COVID. We're only supposed to know which department they work in. We're not actually supposed to know who it is because of potential racketeering against that person. Well, he found out, and he was going around telling everyone who it was, as well as telling them that he worked right alongside her for the past week, and also saying that he thinks he might be COVID positive. So I went and told my manager about that. My PIC, person in charge. Person in charge calls him over, says, well, first off, you can't be telling everyone who it is that got COVID. Second off, if you feel sick, you need to go home and you need to go and get tested. And the guy was like, well, I need my hours though. But he could have used up his sick hours. I know he has sick hours saved up. We get 1 sick hour for every 30 hours work. He's worked quite a bit, and he hasn't taken any sick leave, so he can go home and get tested. So he started harassing the manager and grabbing her and touching her and you're not gonna get COVID from me touching you, because she told him not to be around her and not to really interact with her, because she didn't really want to deal with that. And she also didn't have the authority to send him home. So then he starts also kind of walking around, fake coughing. While still wearing his mask, but granted is still going down below his nose several times, because he's also one of those people that likes to do that. And he's also just continuously harassing people. So manager PIC goes and tells the secondary PIC, who would have the authority to send someone home. And that PIC opts not to do anything, because she says that it's been too soon from the bagger being diagnosed to COVID to him being able to show symptoms. And so she doesn't think that he actually has COVID. But the thing is, the guy's still walking around telling everyone that he thinks he might have COVID, while also harassing people and intentionally trying to infect them or mess with them. So yeah, that's been fun. But then the second manager also decided not to tell anyone else about the situation. She didn't tell the department manager, she didn't tell HR, she didn't tell the store manager anything. She just decided, well, I don't think that he's showing any symptoms that I can detect, and it's been too soon, so I'm not going to tell anyone. So he was there for almost an entire 8-hour shift before going home an hour early. I'm not quite sure why. He went home on my lunch. But before that, first manager also ended up telling our department manager about what was going on. Department manager still didn't do anything. Department manager has the authority to send someone home. Department manager also is supposed to report directly to HR about any possible issues. As far as I know, nothing happened. She also ended up giving the cashier, who was going around telling everyone that he thought he was positive, ended up giving him another shift the following morning, so he wouldn't have had enough time to go and get tested, or even get any results back. So yeah, that was yesterday that he would have had that extra shift. I wasn't working yesterday, I worked today. I'm not sure if he's there today or not. Frankly, I don't want to go into work, but I also don't feel like calling out today, so. But yeah, I knew going into this that corporate America and corporate jobs and working at a grocery store, they weren't going to care for us. I just didn't think it was going to be this blatantly obvious. I thought it was going to be we're still putting up COVID barriers for you, but we're not going to really enforce customers to wear masks. Oh, but you've got someone on your staff who might be positive and could potentially be spreading it around to people and intentionally doing so? Oh, well, we're just gonna let them continue working and potentially infect more customers and other associates. So, loving it.